Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I'll be ready to get this day started. It's going to be a good day. It is going to be a good day. Hope you enjoyed the show yesterday. If you did, please make sure you share it, because sharing is caring. And let me know if you're enjoying the show, so I know that I am helping a sister out if need be. Excuse me. So good morning, and how y'all? I have 4 quotes that I really like, and I couldn't narrow them down. So I don't know which one y'all gonna get. I like them all. So we're gonna see. If please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Excuse me. And let me share this show. I cannot do this without you guys, so I appreciate you when you share the show. And when you share, please tag me so I can at least say thank you, because I don't see when people share things. Like if you share the show, if you don't tag me, sometimes I don't see it for 2 or 3 days later. That's the wonderful world of Facebook. So make sure that you tag me so that I can at least say thank you, girl, man, sir, brother, sister. Excuse me. And I slept good last night. I don't know why I'm yawning. So I'm getting ready to share this to the show. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? And we're ready to get this show started. All right, I forgot about that one, y'all. Hold on, I had to fix that one. That should be better for you now. Okay, so here are, I think I'm going to go, good morning, Lachey. I have 3 quotes, and I don't know which one I want to do. So we're going to do them all, because the Fearless topic of the day is building bridges. And I think these all are going to be, they can all go together. So the first one, letting go means to come to the realization that some people are a part of your history, but not a part of your destiny. Good morning, Kiva. How you doing, my sister? Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are part of your history, not a part of your destiny. I like that one. Number 2, life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. That's the fun part of this journey. Okay. And then here's the one that ties in our thought of the day. Bridges are a wonderful path to walk on with our feet, but the path of our mind can know no bridges, only leaps. I love that one, because y'all, wherever you are on your journey, you're bridging your old thought with your new thought, and you think it's going to be a walk in the park when it's not. It's going to require you to leap at some things, meaning and I may say, hey, baby steps, and we celebrate all steps, and that's true, but your baby step is a leap for you, because it's something that you never thought of before. It's something you never done before. So no matter how small the step is, it is actually a leap for you, because just a short while ago, you couldn't even comprehend that this was a possibility. And here you are, knowing that you're qualified to be exceptional. Here you are, not closing your mind to the miraculous. You are stepping out, and in your stepping out, it is actually you leaping to where you need to be. Your mind doesn't understand bridges. It doesn't know bridges. It only understands leaps. And that's what you're doing every day that you decide to get up, to do something different, You are taking a leap for yourself, for your family, for the destiny that you're choosing. Whatever it is, you are choosing to leap. Even in your baby step, it is a leap for you. Even in your baby step where you don't understand, or you're scared, or it doesn't seem quite right, you are taking a leap, period. And don't let anybody tell you, girl, that was nothing. Oh, but you didn't do it, so it's something. Don't allow anybody to take away the action that you have done and compare it to the inaction of themselves. Okay? Don't let that happen. If you're taking action and they are not, do not allow them to tell you how small or big your step is or your movement is when they've never took a step to begin with. You can't compare the two. And I think guilty, I always do confessions and conversations with JoJo. That's one of the things that I've been guilty of, is comparing myself to people who have not taken a step. And listen, we're celebrating day ones here. We're celebrating any step that you take, because it was a leap of faith from you to even think of the possibility of the idea that you could. So I'm celebrating that. And I had to stop comparing my leap to someone else's leap, number one. And I had to stop comparing my leap to someone else sitting there looking at me practicing to leap. Because along this journey, until you make a decision, you are, I'm going to say, you're practicing in your mind your what ifs. What if what JoJo says is true? What if I can do that? What if I am the first millionaire? What if I am the torchbearer? What if I am the difference maker? So you're practicing, you're stretching yourself. You are exercising your mindset. You are doing things differently. You are you're thinking differently. So you're exercising yourself and you're building up that muscle, right? And so when you finally decide to take that leap, then you are well stretched, qualified, and ready for it. You're ready to land on your feet and do the things that you need to do to make that happen. So just know that in your thought process that you're practicing to take that next step. And whatever your leap is, take it with pride. Take it with, yes, you're doing something, and feel good about that. And don't compare yourself to someone else who is not taking that step. They're not going to understand your step, because they don't know why you're exercising. They don't know why you're reading no books. They don't know why you're thinking the different thoughts. They don't have a clue, because they're not you. Bridges are a wonderful path to walk on with our feet, but the path of our mind can know no bridges, only leaps, period. So what are you leaping for today? In your leap, y'all, celebrate those baby steps, because it's the baby steps that make up the big things. What are you celebrating today? What is the small step that you're going to do today? And so this is where I came across, I heard this yesterday, and it made me think about the bridges and all of that. It says, you don't get to validate your excuses with failures. So before you even cross the bridge, and this is why some of us are, you can see some people moving forward, some people sitting at one end of the bridge or at the beginning of their journey, some people never ever starting their journey or even recognizing the power that they have to do it, is because they are validating their excuses with failure. They are validating their excuses with failure. And I'm here to tell you, you don't get to do that. You don't get to validate your excuses with failure. Example, I knew I wasn't good at it. That's why I didn't try. Well, let me try this one, have tried this one time. See, I failed. That I told you I couldn't do it. You don't get to validate your failures with excuses. That's not an option, because you have to try again. You have to do it again. Just like when y'all, if you, let's make this simple. If you equate it to anything in your life, when you started something new, you knew nothing about the thing. So why do you quit when you start something new now as you got older? You were determined to learn how to drive a car. You figured that out. You was determined to learn how to walk. You figured that out. You was determined to talk. You figured that out. You was determined to get that degree, get that man, get married, have a kid, be a mama. You were determined to figure some things out. But here you are at another juncture of your life, and you don't want to try to figure out anything. You want to use your excuses. You want to validate your excuses for your failure. But is that fair? Does that make sense? Jojo, but you don't understand, I tried that already and it didn't work. But did you try again though? Especially when it comes to things that are important to us, or the things that we know we want to do and we have tried. And then we fail. And then we say, girl, I tried that, but it just didn't work out for me. So you're validating your failures with your excuses. And then it becomes a whole story. Then it becomes the story of your life of, well, one time I tried to open up a bookstore, but it didn't work out that way. I couldn't find a location, so I just stopped. Your excuses are always going to be valid. They're always going to be there. But you don't get to use them as a reason for your failure. They cannot validate your failure. What are you going to do with them? What is not there is just as important as what is there. Why did this not work? It's just as important as why this is working. Remember yesterday we talked about you got to reassess what's in your hand. You got to think about and be intentional with your thought process. And what you're thinking is here right now. That's your superpower. So in your superpower moments, can you think back and reflect what worked and what did not work? Why it worked? And what are you going to do about it? And here's the thing. You must be, and y'all, I want y'all, and I know I gave you a lot of quotes today, but they all tie in together. I want you to be vulnerable with yourself. This is important. If you are ready to take that leap off that bridge, if you're ready to take the leap to think differently, if you're ready to take the leap to whatever, if it's investing, if it's getting out of debt, if it's buying a home, if it's new relationships, new friendships, it requires a leap. No matter how big or small it is requiring you to change your thought process. And don't allow anybody to shame you or make you think that your step is not important. But your step is so essential to your well-being that if you do not take it, generations from now will know the ramifications of you not making that decision. So it's not just a small step. It's not just, oh, let me try. Boo, what you're doing now has ramifications for hundreds of years to come. Your great-great-great-grandchildren, nieces and nephews will read about you in the family Bible. Do they have those anymore? They will read about you in the history book. So when someone tells you or tries to tell you, oh, that's just a baby step. Honey, you was the pebble in the pond that sent out that ripple that eroded the beach away, that caused the tree to grow. Your thought process has ramifications for hundreds of years to come. And that's why we have got to be intentional with our thoughts, and we've got to be careful with our superpower. And our superpower is that my mind is my own, my thoughts are my own, and I've got to be careful, and I've got to use my power for good. Because I'm affecting generations and hundreds of people who will come in contact with my name. And the same is true for you. And y'all, when you begin that point, you've got to be vulnerable with yourself. Meaning you've got to be gentle and understanding with yourself that you are starting a journey that perhaps no one else ever has. And that you are taking a leap that, yes, it may take your breath away, but it is your leap to take, and you today are taking that first step. So be vulnerable with yourself and take care with your thoughts and yourself when you begin this journey. It's okay to say, JoJo, you know what? I think you can do this. I know you can do this, and you have the power, you have the information, you have all the tools that you need to do this, and I got you. You need to talk to yourself like that. You need to be vulnerable with yourself and say, even if we take this leap, right, and we don't figure it out all along the way, or we take this leap and it's not what we think, at least we took the leap. Can we acknowledge that? At least we thought the thought. At least we started the action. We started the action that, look at history. Look at Martin Luther King and Malcolm X's birthday was yesterday. Was that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. He started a thing, but he didn't get to finish the thing. And so maybe that is your purpose, to start the thing so that someone else can finish it. That's why when we talked about you are the seed and you got to plant yourself and make sure that your roots are strong and pay attention to what is watering you, because you're setting up the generations to come. You are the shade tree for someone else. You are the direction in which they will go. They will follow your roots because your roots are setting them up to move in the right direction. So be vulnerable with yourself. If you're taking that leap, Sister A to the man, I see you. I see you. You are my sister. My brother, I see you. You are my brother. And I am here to provide a safe space so that if you want to take another leap, this is your safe space to land, to know that it's okay to be great. It's okay to be amazing. And it's okay to take that step. Period. We're not validating our failures with excuses. We're not. We're taking steps. We're going to be gentle with ourselves as we take this step. You're going to recognize your superpower, and you're going to step out and do the thing. Period. Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And that's the amazing thing. When you take that first step and you begin to realize your superpower, then you begin to realize what you can create. And you realize what you have already created. What you have already brought to this world. What your thought process has already brought here. And then you become more aware of your power. Then you become more aware of the journey that you're on. You become more aware that you're a torchbearer for your family, for your friends. You become more aware of that. And as you become more aware, you take on that responsibility and you are careful with how you harness that power. You're careful with how it impacts other people. And I don't want you to get caught up with comparing your steps, your leap with someone else's. Don't be like me. Because here's what you will say. Because in our confessions and conversations, you know, JoJo, I will say, man, I'm 44. I should have did this by now. JoJo, you should have been open that bookstore. Why didn't you open that bookstore when you was 20? JoJo, why didn't you open a bookstore when you were 30? Here you are, 44, trying to open up a bookstore. Yes, I am. You got to be gentle with yourself. Don't compare your journey to anybody else's. It is yours and yours alone. And we are all on this journey because the natural progression of man is to be great. And we're all on this journey together. So wherever you are, I welcome you on your journey. You made it here for a reason. And you can't compare. We can't compare journey movements. You may have to sit in this part longer than I did. And I may have to sit in this part longer than you did. But boo, the main thing is that we're moving towards the thing. We've taken the leap. It is forward movement. We're not stopping. We're continuously. So bridges are a wonderful path to walk on with our feet. But the path of our mind can know no bridges, only leaps. And so we're building bridges over here. We're building a bridge of an idea for us to leap from one idea to the next. For us to understand that we are amazing, that we are great, and we're not validating our excuses with failure. We're trying again. We're trying again. And in you trying again, you are understanding what worked, what didn't work, what is working, and you're building on that. And what you're doing, friend, is you're leaving steps along the way for your sisters to come behind you. Your sisters, your brothers, your friends, your family. You are leaving the steps and clues so that, again, we're building generational habits. Okay? We're building generational lifestyles so that if I'm the first millionaire, and it ain't a if, I will be the first millionaire in my family. That's not up for discussion. Just period. And so when your mind becomes very clear that my destiny is not changing, I'm okay to take those leaps. I'm okay to think, I started off with this thought, let me go to the next one, and let me go to the next one. And so you're setting your family up and future generations up by you taking your step, by you doing your thing, by you taking that leap, whatever it is. If your step is today, JoJo, you kind of crazy thinking I can do this. Like you don't even know me. Like you don't know where I'm from. You don't know. Listen, I'm from Forest City, North Carolina. I'm about as small as you can get. I worked at McDonald's my entire life. From 14 to 22. Maybe 23. 22. And then I began a career in healthcare. Y'all, it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you are. All that matters is what thought are you willing to think differently today than you did yesterday. That is your leap. You can say JoJo's crazy. You can say you don't understand my story. You can say all of those things. But you don't hear at the Fearless Morning Show. You don't get to validate your failures with excuses. You can't tell me I don't understand your hardship. We can't use you're overweight, you're old, you have health problems. We can't use any of that as an excuse here. Excuses don't work here because we're not validating them here. You have to do that with yourself, and that's something you have to work out. Here is your safe space to understand your superpower of your thinking. Here is your safe space where we're only speaking in positive and what's happening in the future and what next steps we're taking. We're making leaps here from one thought to the next. You just needed a safe space to do it. When I started this journey, I needed a safe space to do it. And I didn't have one until I realized my superpower was my mind. And my thoughts were my own. And no one could hear my dreams and my thoughts unless I shared them. And that is where I allowed my mind to grow, to think, to imagine. And it was my safe space. So this is your safe space. Because we don't do excuses here. We're not validating them here. We're not acknowledging them. What I am saying is, sister, I see you. Here I am. Where are you? Here I am, and I've left some things along the way, my sister, so that you don't have to continue in the crazy that I did. I see you, my sister, and I understand the crazy that you're in, but I promise here's some steps that you can use that can stop just one. And however you define your crazy is yours. If it's your friendship, your relationships, your mama ships, your daddy ships, your job, however you define it, these steps can apply. I see you. Here I am. Where are you? And that's the whole point of the Fearless Morning Show, is to say, here I am, and I'm standing here for you so that when you are ready, the information that you're seeking is absolutely here. And it's going to take you standing at your bridge and taking that leap. And I love that it says bridges are wonderful to walk on with your feet, but the path of your mind can know no bridges, only leaps. Period. And you're taking that leap today just for a minute to think differently. Just for the day, we're not validating excuses over here. We're not doing that. We're not validating excuses, and they're not going to be the reason why we say we failed at this thing. We are trying again. We are thinking differently again. We are looking at what worked and what did not work. We are taking the time to comprehend where we are, why we are, how we got here, and how we participated in getting here. And see, when you take that leap, then those thought processes start to come quickly. When you take that leap, then your journey begins for you to understand that part of you. And then you taking that leap, these are the two quotes that come with that. Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are part of your history. They're not a part of your destiny. When you take that leap, you have to realize that. Because some people are going, when you take the leap, whatever that step is, even if it's, you know what, I think I can do that. That thought is your own. But if you care to share it in that leap right there, in that thought process, you're going to learn who jumped with you and who put the weights on you and pulled you back down. Some people are part of your history. They're not a part of your destiny. Doesn't make them any worse. Doesn't make you any better. It just is what it is. It becomes a fact of life. And life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And that is what you're doing. You are taking the time to honor where you are, honor where you want to go, and then set out to do the work to achieve that thing. I'm not ashamed to say I worked at McDonald's. Push come to shove, if I need to go work at McDonald's again, at least I know how to flip a burger, honey. I got you. I can take an order at McDonald's. I can run the store. We're not downgrading or thinking bad on where we started and how we started. We're simply building a bridge. We're taking a leap to something different. And in that, be gentle with yourself. Be vulnerable with yourself. But we're not validating our excuses with our failure. We're not going to do that. Because I don't think there's any true failure. And I had to come to that conclusion myself. I had to come to the conclusion that there's really no true failure. I truly learned something. I did. And this is how I equate failure, y'all. And I know I take things to the extreme. But I lived in an extreme situation. So I don't look at things as a failure because I didn't die. I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I still have all my facilities. I can think, I can move. I still have all of those things. And I put that in perspective of everything. When times are hard, I ain't got no money. When I didn't have any food, when I didn't have none of those things, I said, but I didn't die. So that means I get to keep going. I got to keep going. I'm living here. So that means I get to keep going. And I take it to that extreme. Let me tell you why. And I have 3 examples. And if y'all want to read them in detail, book 1 and 2. So the first time my ex-husband tried to kill me, I thought I was dead. The second time when he pushed me out the moving car, I thought I was dead. The third time when he sat on me and choked me till I passed out, and his eyes was the last I saw, I knew I was dying. But when I woke back up, thank you, Jesus, and I finally took the steps I needed to leave, then that's when that was the defining moment for everything in my life. Yes, Jojo, you had to ask other people for underwear. Yes, you did. Yes, you had to ask people for a toothbrush. Yes, you did. You had to ask for all of that. But you ain't dead. Did nobody kill you? You still have all the fully functions of your body. So I'd be darned if I'm going to allow an excuse to stop me or for me to assume that I'm a failure because I tried something different. Because at the end of the day, I didn't die. I'm here. You're here. You're breathing. You have the full facility of your body. You have the superpower of your mind. Sister, can we acknowledge the greatness of you for 1 minute? You didn't die. And for me, it may be an extreme, but it is that simple. I'm going to open this bookstore. I don't know how to open up a bookstore. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm going to try it because I ain't dead. I didn't know how to write a book. I wrote 6. I ain't dead. I don't know how to raise children. I figured it out. I didn't die, though. I got laid off, cashed in my 401k, moved. I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't die. And for me, it is that simple. It may be an extreme for you, but for me, that's every day. And I tell it to my kids, Mommy, I can't. I tried, but did you die though? No, I didn't die. Yeah, it hurt. Hell yeah, it hurt. Yes, it stretched you beyond belief. Yes, you didn't understand and it was a dark place. Yes to all of that. But boo, you didn't die though. You here. You still have all of your facilities. And you have the greatest one of them all, your mind, which is your superpower. And if you don't begin to acknowledge your superpower for what it is, that you have the absolute power, you have the divine right to create this life that you want, you will give in to the life that everyone is presenting to you and assume that's what you had to accept, when that is not so. That is not so. So my question is, but did you die though? And if the answer is no, can we keep moving? Can we take that leap? Because I deal with the simpler things. We deal with facts only over here. My kids absolutely hate that. Because it's that simple. It may be an extreme for other people, but for me, it's that simple. Because when you done almost died 3 times, and the 4th time I tried to kill myself, but I didn't die though. So if I'm still here, there has got to be a reason. If I'm still here, I can't use excuses to validate my failures. If I'm still here, I can't say I tried, but it didn't work. I can't use that. I have to say, but Jojo, did you die though? No. Was it hard? Yeah, it hurt. My feelings got hurt. My heart got broke. I didn't have a place to live. I was homeless. There was the shelter. There was the soup kitchens. There was the car repossessed. There was the cars broken down on the side of the road. There was every problem that you could imagine. But I didn't die though. I didn't die. Here you are standing, and you have the full facilities of your body, and you have full capability of your superpower, which is your mind. Your superpower is your mind. Can we put your S on the chest and stand flat-footed with your chest out, your head up, and take control of your superpower today? That everything that you see right now is what you thought. You thought it and you created it. I thought of this hairstyle, whatever it may be. I created it this morning. You thought of what you wanted to say and do. You thought before you cussed that person out, and you created it. You thought before you married that man, and you did. You thought before you had a kid, and you did. But, honey, we've got to use your superpower. Create what you want. Life is not about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. And I have a class where I talk about the new rules to the new you. Yeah, it's hard, but that's the fun stuff, boo. That's the fun stuff. Can we recognize, my sister, my brother, today, your superpower? Can we do that? And then you recognize your superpower, and you look back over everything, and then look forward to what you're trying to accomplish. But did you die, though? You see what I'm saying? Did you die? You have full facilities of your body, and your superpower is still intact. Because this is what I found out. If y'all missed the show yesterday, go back and check it out. I realized that my superpower was here, and nobody could see what was in here. These thoughts were my own. My mind was my own, and I could think. This is my free space. I could think whatever thought I want. Because y'all know, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be president. I wanted to take over the world. I wanted to travel the world. And I wanted to own a bookstore. And I wanted to be in a rock star. You know, I wanted to marry Lionel Richie, but you know, I think I can give up on marrying Lionel Richie part. But all the rest of them, they're still on the table. I'm going to own that bookstore. That's coming. I don't want us to get caught up in validating our excuses with our failures. I don't want us to get caught up with us not knowing anything. Because if you're like me, you're a former Miss Know-It-All. You can't tell me nothing. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing because I already know. But what I found out, sister, is that my abundance and my answers were in the instructions. I had to ask questions to get the instructions to receive my abundance and my answer. Sometimes you need somebody to just say, hey, Jojo, try this. And so that's what we're doing today. We're taking the leap. We're building bridges. We're taking the leap from one thought to the next. And in the instruction is your abundance. It is your answer. It is everything that you're seeking. It is you acknowledging your superpower. It is you standing there saying, JoJo, she might be crazy. She don't only live past crazy special. She might be a little sometime. But maybe, just maybe, let me think about what she said. And that's the whole point of the Fearless Morning Show. It's just, this is your safe space for you to think differently. Just for a second. Just for a minute. For 1 second to think. Now, what if I could really do this thing? Boo, you can. You absolutely can. Look at what you have now. You created that. Don't tell me you can't create anything else. And for my science girls, y'all know I'm a nerd. Every 90 days, your body creates new cells. Every 90 days, your body physically creates a new you, inside and out. You get new skin. You get new cells on the inside. Everything is created new. So you mean to tell me for 90 days you can't think a new thought and create a new you? We're not validating our excuses with failures over here. We're not doing that. Because if my body on its own, without the help of me, the divine himself comes in and creates a new me every 90 days. You mean to tell me I cannot create a new thought process in 90 days? I can't acknowledge the creator in me? I can't do that? That makes no sense. We are overriding the greatness that is innate in us to convince ourselves that we are nothing. And here you are using your superpower to tell your superpower it ain't a superpower. That's about as simple as I can make it. Here you are telling the God in you that he created you, but he made a mistake. He didn't mean for you to do this thing. You're going to use all of your power for that? Is that what you're really going to use it for? And then you're going to get mad when things don't work out? Well, you just told the divine, the creator of all things, that what he created in you wasn't enough. And you're going to get an attitude about what you get. But we can't have it both ways. We can't complain and not work. It doesn't go. You can't pray and not do. You can't think about it and not put it into action. What is consistent is what is true. What is consistent is what is true. If you consistently think you cannot, you will consistently have what you will not. It is that simple. So here on this wonderful, it's going to be an amazing day. It's going to be an absolutely amazing day. My sister, I see you. Here I am. Where are you? Here I am. And sometimes I love that quote. It says it takes courage to stand up in a crowd. It's easy to stand in a crowd. It takes courage to stand up. And you ain't got to stand up long, boo. You just need to stand up so another sister can see and acknowledge you. Hey, girl, I see you. You ready? I got the answer. But until you're willing to stand up to let somebody know that you have a question, till you realize the power of your question, till you realize that some people don't want you to understand the power of your question and what you got to say so they can keep you distracted, to keep you in the same place so that you can continue to use your excuses for your failures. Until you get to that point, boom, the answers you seek will never come. The prayer that you pray will never come to be. I can about put money on that. Because at some point along on this journey, you've got to take the leap of, let me try. You have to. Everything, every religion requires an action. Everything. So on this wonderful day, I know I had 3 quotes for y'all. Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are part of your history, but not a part of your destiny. When you take that leap, that's when you realize either you anchoring me down or you boosting me up. And your leap can be whatever step you take. If it is your first thought, let's celebrate all things, okay? Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And then the last one, bridges are a wonderful path to walk on. But the path of our mind can know no bridges, only leaps. And we're taking leaps. I want you to understand that you're the torchbearer for your family. You are taking that leap and you are setting it up for generations to come. But boo, if you never take that leap, your great-great-grandchildren will never know the greatness of you. They will never understand their superpower. They will never know it because you're passing down your silence to them. And ladies, we have inherited silence from our mothers. We have inherited silence from our grandmothers, our grandfathers. Why do we want to pass that silence down? No, boo. You got that superpower. Can we acknowledge that today? That's going to be amazing. Absolutely. They're not a part of your destiny. It doesn't make you any better. It doesn't make them bad. It simply means I want something different. And when you want something different, this is what happens. You begin to leave clues for them. So if they choose to take that leap, you in your humbleness, because you will be humble, when they come and say, hey, JoJo, I noticed you did this thing. Or JoJo, what about, I was thinking about this. And in the humbleness of it, you can say, my sister, I got you. Let me show you. My brother, I got you. Let me show you. So you leave it so that success leaves clues. You leave it for them so that they can follow the steps clearly. So that when they come to you, right, as our sister's keeper, because I am my sister's keeper, when they come and they ask the question, it's not an awkward, I don't want anybody to think, JoJo, it has to be an awkward question with JoJo. No, you can simply say, hey, Joe, I was thinking, and boo, I got the conversation from there. I'm going to give you the safe space that you need to understand. If we got to shine up that S on your chest, boo, I got the vinegar to wax it on, wax it off. We're going to shine it up, and you're going to know today that within the next 90 days, you can absolutely be whomever you choose to be. So on this wonderful day, the answer is yes. We accept all of our abundance. We only receive goodness. Period. We stand on our foundation that we are amazing and that we are created to change this here world. And we were given the superpower and the information and the answer to do so. Isn't that amazing? This is where the fun part comes in. Because when you realize your superpower, then the answers start to show themselves. I promise. So we're not validating excuses over here. We're not doing that. We're asking questions. We realize the power of our question. And our question today is, what if, but did I die though? If you didn't die, boo, let's get to moving. You got things to do this here day. You didn't die. Period. So I hope you have an amazing day. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless morning shows over there. If you listen to podcasts, this would be a podcast this afternoon. Everywhere where podcasts are, on Apple, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts, it is the Live Past Crazy show. I do have an event coming up in October. Lord, as my Aunt Sue say, Lord willing and the creek don't rise. It is Sister Rise Retreat. And the Sister Rise Retreat, Rise stands for Revitalizing Individuals' Sacred Energy. And in this space, y'all, only 12 women, we are recognizing our superpower and we are recharging it. We are redefining it. We are looking at it and we are setting a foundation so that when we go out, we are not only serving ourselves, but we are serving others through our overflow. And so that is October 16th through the 18th. It will be in Savannah. So if you go to bit.ly/Sister Rise, you can have more information there. It's only for 12 women because I want it to be like a sister thing, y'all. You know how you go to retreats and things and you're so busy going and doing. That's not like that. This is going to be different. So make sure you check that out and bring a sister or a friend with you. Because the question of the day is, you didn't die though. Boo, I didn't die. That man tried to kill me 3 times. I tried to kill myself and I still didn't die. So you mean to tell me that I can't achieve greatness? I can't believe that. I refuse. I refuse to believe that I can't I'm going to open up a bookstore. I'm working on a name right now. If you have any ideas or suggestions, I'm open to all of them. I'm going to figure out how to open up this bookstore because I'm yet still alive. I'm going to do that. Period. So I hope you have an amazing day. Go to bit.ly/Sister Rise so that you can get more information or you can send me questions and I'll be more than glad to answer those for you. I do have Sisters Keepers t-shirts available. Let me know. Send me the link and I'll get those for you. And of course, Sisters Keepers jewelry and the little bracelets are available as well. Go to livepastcrazy.com and you can see all that information. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope this has helped you. If this has helped you, please make sure you share it, because I can't do this by myself. I'm a firm believer if I can help one sister and or brother to think differently just for an iota of a second, she would then take it back and help her family, who would then take it into the community, and we will change the world. It is that simple, but we seem to make it that complicated. So I'm coming for you, my sister, one sister at a time, I promise. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.